Kansas, and I'm talking to Tracy today. We're talking with Chuck Stites, and Chuck is running for unified government. Chuck, do you want to go ahead and tell Kansas a little bit about yourself?
Yes, I'd like to, first off, thank you for the opportunity to come down and speak. My name is Chuck Stites, and I am running for the County Commission seat, which is District 7. I am on the Edwardsville City Council currently. I've been there for 6 years. I was born and raised right here in Wyandotte County. I went to Bonner Springs High School, graduated in 1988, where I met my wife in high school. We've been married for 33 years now, and we have one son who is currently on the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department. After high school, I went to the police department, Kansas City, Kansas Police Department, where I spent the rest of my career, I thought the rest of my career, at the police department. Retired officially in 2014. After the police department, I started in on some land development excursions. So I decided at that time, after from the police department and going into land development, that I'd like to get into politics a little bit heavier. So what I did is I ran for Edwardsville City Council. I won. I was lucky enough to win, and I've been on there for 6 years now.
Well, from what I can see overall, and from everything I've heard from people in Edwardsville, they were lucky to have you win also.
Well, I think it was a good match.
Definitely.
It was some time for some things to happen. Like I said, I'd grown up in Edwardsville, and for a long time growing up, we were told that there was going to always be some development occur, a development on the north end of Edwardsville. So I had made it my one of the things that I ran on when I ran for council was development in the north end. And as you know now, you see the things that are occurring on the north end of Edwardsville, the Riverview expansion, the roundabout, the things that are going on right there. We're hopeful in the next year or two that we're going to see some major development go on in that area.
Now, I know when you say hopeful, I know that you're not just hoping for it. I know that you guys with the Edwardsville Council have been working really, really hard at this and have a lot of things that are potentially in the works.
We have, yeah, and some of the things I can't mention, but there are some things that are working right now that we're hopeful that's going to help generate some additional revenues for Edwardsville. Development that had occurred on the north side of I-70 had been happening all around us, and I felt like it was time for Edwardsville to get their piece of the pie.
Exactly. And everything, all the Edwardsville dollars and everything else have been kind of moving towards Legends or moving towards Johnson County. I live right on the very edge of KCK by Edwardsville, and I'm excited about all the new developments and everything going on, because that really impacts not just Edwardsville, but it impacts the community around it.
Well, I'm a firm believer that if we all succeed, it's good for everyone. I mean, we all need to succeed. We're all in Wyandotte County, and we need everything to rise together.
Oh, exactly. We are one big family.
I agree.
Now, I know with a big difference between Edwardsville and KCK is KCK, budget-wise, it's been getting more and more expensive. The mill levy's been going up, taxes been going up. Edwardsville's having the exact opposite. Edwardsville's got businesses coming in, and you've got more of a handle on your budget, it seems like.
Yeah, and you know, first off, I'll say I'm very proud for that, to say that. You know, we have a very good council. We have a good mayor in place right now, and we have been working very hard over years. They've started this process prior to me getting elected 6 years ago, and it's paying off now. So 5 out of the last 6 years in Edwardsville, we've been able to reduce our mill levy, and no one else around is doing that.
No, I haven't talked to anybody else that's told me that we're able to reduce our mill levy. We're charging you less taxes, even with all the shutdowns and pandemics and everything else last year. You guys are succeeding when very few others are.
Right, and I will tell you that is one of the driving factors for me running for the county commission seat is that I'm hoping to take what I have learned over the past 6 years and take that knowledge, experience, the highs, the lows, and take it to the county level and see what success we can come up with there.
I'm 100% with that idea.
Right. It's gotten, you know, I've talked to so many people over the last 6 years, and you continually hear about our county taxes, and we're being priced out of being able to stay. Folks that are on fixed incomes, that, you know, some may think that it's not that big a deal for $5, $10, $20 a month increase. But when you have to make that decision, whether that is you buying medication, groceries, gas for your car, it adds up. And you know, we cannot continue to put the burden on the backs of our taxpayers and expect for them to be able to live here, because we're pushing them out.
I have crunch numbers, and I can't find a way to retire in KCK.
Exactly.
And I really love my house. I love my neighborhood. I'm hoping something changes,
Yeah.
so that way I can stay. Because it's not, I don't want to move by choice, but it's budgetary, it's monetary. You have limited choices. There's only so much money.
Well, it's a delicate balance,
Yes.
and I will tell you, you know, and I think that Edwardsville, some of their successes is that we've been able to balance that between bringing in development, having the right tax incentives given, and the jobs that it creates. But I don't think that you can sell the farm, so to speak, to bring in businesses, and then again expect for that to fall on the backs of the taxpayers.
Exactly.
We've been told years and years and years that the legends, I mean, you name it, Kansas Speedway, Nebraska Furniture Mart, all of the things that are going on out west. Just wait, your taxes are going to be lowered. Well, I've yet to see that. Evaluations may be going up, but my taxes haven't been lowered.
Now, I know my dad used to say, every time something had come in, that, especially when Speedway came in, he said, I can't afford Speedway. I said, what do you mean you can't afford Speedway? He says, taxes increase. I said, no, they say they're going to lower. So they say a lot of things,
Right.
but you don't always see it. You have to see it. And in Edwardsville, all of you in Edwardsville have actually shown that. Now, one thing with talking about the budget and such is CARES Act money.
Who?
Has Edwardsville gotten their CARES Act money?
You know, I think we've received some of that, and that is a very sore subject for me. And
A lot of people.
And I will tell you, I think that Bonner Springs, Edwardsville was treated unfairly from the very beginning of this process. And when I say that, from the amount of money that we received to the representation that we had on the CARES Act committee that was formed to allocate where these dollars went.
Who did you have on the committee?
Well, it's not who we had, it's who we didn't have.
Who didn't you have?
And we did not have a county commissioner that represents Bonner Springs, Edwardsville, District 7 on that committee.
That's a huge chunk of the county.
Well, it is absolutely a huge chunk of the county. And to think that a committee was formed and that we did not have representation from either of the current commissioners, I think is just really a slap in the face. And I will tell you that if I held that seat at that time, I would have demanded that we have one of the commissioners that represent District 7 on that committee. Because I don't know how you allocate dollars for those two cities if you don't have somebody that represents those two cities. It's totally embarrassing.
I agree completely. once you're on the UG, are you going to stay away from Edwardsville and Bonner, or are you coming back home and making sure you're still visiting with everybody and know what's going on in town?
Well, I like what you said when you said when I get on the UG, because that's exactly right. When I win this race, yes, ma'am. I will tell you, I vowed that I would not run any type of a negative campaign. I did not want to point fingers or talk negatively about anyone.
No, candidates don't like that.
No, and that doesn't help anybody.
No.
That doesn't help us. What I will say, that I will commit to each of the cities, Bonner Springs and Edwardsville, that I will attend at least 2 city council meetings every year in each city, so that I can stay abreast of what's going on. I think that when it comes time for budget negotiations, if you're not in contact with those 2 cities, I don't know how you can go into the budget negotiation at the city, at the UG, I'm saying, and accurately have a discussion about what's going on if you haven't been there and talked to them. So I will tell you that I will be involved. I will maintain contact with Bonner Springs and Edwardsville after I win this election.
Now, in addition to that, I know one of the things that's important to me, and it's important to a lot of other Kansans and Wyandotte Countyans and everything else I know, is that accessibility to your legislators across the board, whether it's somebody you run into at the gas station in Edwardsville and can visit with, or whether it's someone from DC coming specifically to see us, it's very, very important we can contact the people that represent us. And I can guarantee you I have never had a problem getting a hold of Chuck. I can Facebooking, calling, emailing, and I've never had any issues, and I haven't talked to people that have had issues. So if you can get a hold of him now, then in January, when he's on the UG, I don't see any problem getting a hold of him when you need to talk to him.
Nothing will change except maybe my email address.
Well, that's we want the email address to change.
But yes, and I appreciate that, and I've made it a point while I'm on the city council that they voted for me to be there. I represent them, and if they have a question, a comment, a concern, and they reach out to me, they put their trust in me.
Yes.
And they should be able to speak to me. They may not like the answer that I give them.
Well, if we all agree 100% of the time, there's a problem.
Well, that's exactly right. And but at least I'm giving an answer. I'm receptive. I'm responsive, and I will continue to do that. You'll have my email address. You'll have my phone number. You'll have Facebook page. You'll have my address. So I absolutely will stay in contact.
Now, elections are expensive and they're a lot of work. We've only got a couple weeks left. Advance voting has started. If someone wants to get a hold of you and wants to donate money or help out with your election, maybe walk some houses with you, make some phone calls for you, how do they get a hold of you?
And you know what? Before we go to that,
Sure.
Here's what I would like to say to everyone that's going to be watching this. And I have family in all 3 cities of District 7. And I will say, I feel like we in District 7 are viewed upon as revenue generators.
We've talked about that, yes.
Revenue generators for Wyandotte County. And for the amount of taxes that we pay at the county level and the minimal services that I feel like we receive back for those county dollars, we need to get that adjusted. That needs to be fixed. And I didn't mean to steer off on what you asked me, but I will tell you I think that is so important that we get out of that the cash cow. That we're just there to funnel our tax dollars there and not receive anything back. We're going to put an end to that. We're going to put an end to that. So yes, absolutely, any help would be greatly appreciated. My P.O. box, if we want to start with there.
Sure.
P.O. box is 14075, Edwardsville, Kansas, 66111. My phone number is 913-687-5616. You can also reach me on my email, which is Stites, STITES 37, the number 37, at gmail.com, and also on Facebook at Chuck Stites for Wyco.
And he is one of the people that, without a doubt, if you send him a message, he responds. I can personally vouch for that.
Thank you.
He may not have a chance. It's towards the last part of the election cycle, so he's really busy. He's probably on the streets every night.
Oh yeah, it was tough. It was tough. It was tough to come down here tonight, to tell you the truth, because I felt like I needed to be out on the street and hitting the street. So if there's anybody out there that would like to come out and go door to door, I've got several more neighborhoods that I could use some help, and I would appreciate it. We're just down to a little over 2 weeks away, so it's time to tighten that belt and let's get this thing done.
And I can tell you personally, without a doubt, that when Chuck holds a meet and greet, Chuck holds one of the best.
Thank you.
And we got to go to, what's the name of that?
Fuel House.
The Fuel House.
In Bonner Springs.
In Bonner Springs, and he threw a nice little shindig for us, and we had a good time, be able to sit and visit with him. And I'll be honest, I didn't know who your wife was when I walked in. But you're one of the couples that you can tell who your wife is by looking at you.
Well,
because of the way you look at her. So that is, after this many years of marriage, that right there shows massive stability.
We met at, like I said, Bonner Springs High School. I was a sophomore, she was a junior, and we've been together ever since. And you guys do the math there and figure that out. There's a lot of gray hair here, so that's been many years ago. But yes, I'm very, very blessed to have my wife and my son.
Now, before we wrap things up, is there anything else that you want to say to Kansas and to District 7?
Just don't forget to get out and vote. Win, lose, or draw. I want to make sure that everybody is exercising their right to vote, and get out there, support your candidate, and hopefully that candidate is me, and I thank you very much.
I think you've definitely shown over the past 6 years that you have earned the vote.
I hope so.
Well, this is Tracy and Chuck with Watch Kansas. Have a great day.